In this episode, I'm going to show you how to incorporate photographs into your pattern making project on Illustrator. So once you have the hang of how to create patterns in Illustrator and you've used the basic tools to create a variety of objects and you've applied them as a pattern to your t-shirt outlines, you're ready to move on, and I would encourage you to use some of your own photographs or portions of your own photographs and incorporate those into an original pattern. So I'm going to switch over to this file where I've done that. So to kind of give you an idea of what's going on over here, here we have obviously an organic design, an organic pattern made up of some flowers. So basically what you want to do here, and here's some of the artwork that I used to create that pattern, but I want to show you how to get there. So I'm going to go to File and Place, and I'm just going to place a photograph that I downloaded from my cell phone. So we'll go ahead and click on the photo, click Place, and we'll put it right there. Now, typically, depending on the camera that you're using, the size of the image may vary. I would recommend probably just shrinking this down a little. So I'm just holding the Shift button as I resize this, and it doesn't have to be perfectly centered on your artboard. That's kind of immaterial. So it doesn't really matter a whole lot. I'm not going to actually be exporting the entire photo again, so it doesn't matter if I get the photo size to the artboard properly. All right, so to make a clipping mask, just as a quick review, you could use any of the basic shape tools to do this, or you could just create a path with the pen tool. And I'm going to use the pen tool here because that does give me a little bit more precision. So hold the Alt button, we'll switch directions, and I'm not going to do a very precise, exact tracing of this. I'm just getting the basic outline. I can always go back with my direct selection tool and further edit this path, even once I've created it as a pattern. So anytime I can go back, it's completely editable. But I'm just going to get it close, and I'm going to kind of work quickly here. I'm not going to make this exact. Again, holding the Alt button to switch directions on that handle. See if we can get this as one curve right here. We stretch that handle out, hold the Alt button. Oops. Control Z. All right, so get close to the edge, hold the Alt button, bring that handle back around. Stretch out an anchor point here. So in general, with the pen tool, it is better to use as few anchor points as possible. All right, so we have a rough outline of the flower shape. All right, I'm going to switch back to my selection tool. I'm going to hold Shift, Control Z there. I'm going to hold Shift and click on the photograph. So I have the path I created with the pen tool and the photograph selected. Now I want to do a couple of things. Just go over to Object and Clipping Mask, and over to Make. All right, so obviously I didn't have that photograph selected, so let's try that again. I obviously I do have the flower outline selected. I'm going to hold Shift and select the photograph. Good. So if you only have one thing selected, it's obviously not going to work. So two objects. We'll try the clipping mask again. We'll make that clipping mask. There we go. Now we kind of zoom out a little bit. You can see that a little better, hopefully. All right. So at this point, working with the clipping mask, if the path is selected, I can just move this around and it moves the clipping mask with the photograph. If I'm using the direct selection tool and I accidentally select the photo, I'm going to move the photo independent of the clipping mask or the path of the clipping mask. So just be aware of that. I'm going to switch back to the direct selection or the selection tool. I'm actually going to back up a few steps here, just hitting Control Z to get me back where I was previously. All right, so I'm going to click off of that with the selection tool. I'm just going to select the path. And now I can tell right away this is going to be too large of a shape for my pattern. So I do want to make this considerably smaller. I'll just hold the Shift and the Alt button. And as you can see, that as you have the path selected, it reduces or scales down the photo along with the path that I created with the pen tool. All right, so from here, I want to go ahead and do this as a pattern. So Object Pattern and Make. All right, so hopefully you're well familiar with the Pattern Options panel. I'm just going to bring these down a little closer so that these shapes kind of overlap each other a little bit, get them a little tighter together. And we'll zoom in so you can kind of see this a little better. And that looks pretty good, but I think I might want to play around with the overlap. Let's see what this does. That actually kind of looks cool. Not too crazy about the bottom and front. I think I'll go with top and front. Yes, that's looking a little better. Maybe bring this corner in a little tighter. There we go. And maybe just a touch more. All right, so looking pretty good. I could press Save a Copy or just simply click Done, or you can even press the Escape button. And basically what that does, there's my little tiny flower. Here's my pattern over here. So if I was to create this onto another shape with pattern fill, there's this, it's in the swatch. I have a couple other pattern fills that I created earlier based on the same image. All right, so let's just create a real quick rectangle so you can kind of get an idea what this fill is going to look like. All right, there you go. So very quick and easy way to incorporate a photograph into your pattern making. You don't have to use the image trace function. You can just keep it as a JPEG or as a PNG, wherever the file format should. Most of those file formats should work fine. And then if I wanted to edit this, say I wanted to go back and edit the path, it's not a big deal. You can get right back on there, resize it. And you can do some further editing as you choose, resizing or changing it up. All right, so that's how you could incorporate that's how you could create a photograph into your pattern making in Illustrator.